Hello folks, this is Sula once again. Welcome to another video for Teamfight Tactics. In this game we're going to be looking at another ranked Teamfight Tactics game. This is taken from high Gold Elo. You can see most people have gold borders. I think there's 2 people that are in Platinum 4. And this is a game that I've called Where is My Chosen? We're going to go through some of the struggles to find a Chosen in this game and then see how this ultimately plays out. I was going for the Tom Kench with the chain vest. You guys know if you've watched my videos, I like the chain vest start in this version of Teamfight Tactics. That ended up being heavily contested for whatever reason, so I end up with a Garen with a Giant's Belt instead, and I'm fine with that. What would be really nice here would be to get a chain vest to drop from the minion rounds, and then that would give me a Sunfire Cape, which is a great early game item. Now I'm zooming in here. I am checking out the little legend that I have, the Sakura Feather Knight. This one has been upgraded to 2 stars. I did eventually decide to break down and purchase the pass that was put out for Season 4. Ultimately, I figured that it was pretty good value because I had unlocked everything that was part of the pass. And I didn't feel bad about supporting Riot since I had put quite a bit of time into this. All right, so leaving little legends aside, let's look at what we've got here. So had a Garen with a Giant's Belt off the initial carousel. Here on the first flop, there's no Chosen, and I didn't really care too much for the options there. I picked up the second Garen to try to make Garen 2-star, which would be great. And I also picked up the TF because, well, I only had gold to pick up one more champ, and I was thinking Garen tanks, TF actually does damage, so he complements this better than a lot of the other champions would. I guess the Diana wouldn't be bad either, but I went with the TF just for whatever reason. And I don't get any gold, so I can't buy up any of the other champions, which is a little unfortunate. And in terms of the items, also not great. I get another Giant's Belt, and I get a Negatron Cloak. So once again, out of the stuff that flops here, not really a ton I wanted. Now I felt kind of bad. I wish I'd picked up the Diana, because then I could have had Diana 2-star with the 2 Dianas here. But instead, I'll pick up the other TF. I'm not buying up the other minions because I'm guaranteed to get gold here. What I want to do is I want to level or pre-level to level 4. What that means is when I hit level 4 on the next round, I'll have better odds to find higher cost champions and better odds to find a 2-cost chosen, which could be very powerful. There's a number of 2-cost chosens that can be very, very strong. So that's why I'm gonna get gold here. I go ahead and sell the Lulu and I sell the Aphelios for 4 gold, then I pre-level, and okay, this is not quite what I was looking for again. I'm looking at what I have here and trying to figure out what I should play. Quite often I'll go into the kind of a Warlord setup here or Sharpshooters, but I don't really have those opportunities. I figured out of what I had, the Eve is probably the best choice, and again, I wouldn't even see Eve as a possibility unless I had leveled to 4 there. But still no Chosen. You're guaranteed to get a Chosen offering by 2-2, but I'm not guaranteed to get one right there. So I'm just going to make do with what I have. I have Thresh in to make Vanguard for Garen. And I also decided the best way I could use the items was to make a Warmogs on Garen. Warmogs generally not the item that you're looking to use. It doesn't really scale great into the late game, but it's reasonably effective in the early game. All Warmogs does is provide health. You get plus 1,000 health on a champion. All you do is get extra health. So it's not really a great item. It's seen as one of the weaker item choices, but I needed to make something. The only other choice to make an item would have been to make a Zephyr. And although Zephyr is a great late game item, Zephyr is really not a good item in the early game. I actually think I'm stronger by making the Warmogs and by pairing it with Vanguard. By pairing it with Vanguard, I get that extra armor on Garen, and it actually works really well. I get a ton of health from the Warmogs, and then I get extra armor from the Vanguard trait. So this will make Garen pretty tanky. I also hit on a TF 2-star, and then I saw an Elise, and that allows me to put Cultist in here, which I think is the strongest board that I can make to get that Galio coming in here. So Garen is going to soak up the damage. I need him to get off his spin to win. He's actually soaking up the Zed damage pretty well, and then Galio gets off a nice knock-up on the Zed. So even though I think this other comp looks like it's stronger than us, we are in fact able to win. Now, remember, I said I was guaranteed a Chosen at 2-2. Well, I got an Enlightened Fiora, and that may well be the weakest, that might be the single weakest Chosen in the entire game right now. Enlightened is not a trait that people generally play through anymore. It was core to the Talon comp before Talon was nerfed slash reworked and made not really much of a champion. So I don't really want to play an Enlightened Fiora, maybe in a duelist comp, but she's just not a strong champion. So I was like, I can't play this. Even though I usually try to play the first chosen that I get and work around it, I really can't play that. It's just not strong. But I do get the good luck to hit 2-star Garen, so as I said, he's going to be quite strong. Now, I did drop the Vanguard to go up to 3 Cultists, so he doesn't get that bonus armor. But if I can get up to level 5, I'll just put Thresh back in again. Add the Vanguard back for Garen and allow him to soak up that damage. So he does his job. He, like I said, soaks up damage for the front line long enough for Galio to come in, and we're able to kill Annie before she gets her ult off. And now TF's got to carry the remainder of the fight. There's another TF on that other side, but 1-star against 2-star means we're enough to get that. I sell Nidalee to get to 10 gold. And somehow I've won the first 3 rounds despite not having a chosen. It's pretty remarkable. Alrighty, well, what do I have right now? I have won all the rounds, and no one else has won all 3 rounds. That's great. No one else is off to a win streak. I will have last pick on the carousel, so I don't have much priority on what I want here. Out of the items that I have, I actually would like the tier the most because that would allow me to make a chalice. And it also gives me another Evelyn, which is nice because I'm playing Eve. So I'm going to go ahead, and fortunately the tier is still there. I was kind of surprised. Tiers have very high priority right now because a lot of people like to play the Veigar comp that relies on Elderwood and Mage and Veigar. It's quite strong right now. So tiers usually get snapped up pretty fast, but no one ends up playing that. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the Eve, and then I'll go ahead and level to level 5 here. So I'll go ahead and make Chalice on Eve. This will be really nice. That'll help power up the TF. And then I can take out the Eve and put in Thresh. And this is pretty good. I have had the good fortune to make several 2-stars. 2-star Garen, 2-star TF, 2-star Elise. So there is some good luck there. The one place where I haven't had luck is with the Chosen. You're guaranteed to get 3 Chosens offered by the end of stage 2. And that means that I'm guaranteed to get a Chosen on 2.6 and another Chosen on 2.7. But this is the latest possible that these Chosens can appear. Like, they literally cannot appear any later than they're showing up right now. So this is pretty bad luck to have to go through all these early rounds without having a Chosen. That said, my comp seems to be on it. We're kind of destroying this other person who was one of the stronger team comps. No, I guess not. They had chosen to put their money in Econ, and actually that person's already lost 26 health, so definitely not something I recommend. I actually have odds to get a 3-cost Chosen, if not good ones, 5% odds to get a 3-cost Chosen, so maybe I'll get lucky and I get a Moonlight Diana Assassin. Okay. I mean, if I had gotten that at the beginning of the game and built a Moonlight comp around it, then that might be useful. But there's no way I can build a comp around Moonlight Diana when we're already about to finish stage 2. It's just, I don't have the champs for that. I don't have the items for that. So this is, again, something that I just can't play. Maybe if it was an assassin, I could do something, but I can't go into a Moonlight reroll comp right now. I'm already level 5. I would want to stick at level 5 and reroll if I was playing that comp. So no, this isn't going to work. But what I have right now is still pretty good, so I'm going to try to continue win streaking. I was highlighting there that Garen has a tremendous amount of health. I think he is pushing close to 2,000 health with the Warmogs, and the Vanguard gives him almost 200 armor. I think he had 170 armor or something like that, so he is very difficult for people to kill right now, and as long as he can soak up that damage, it allows time for Eve to slip into the back lines and get her ult off. Oh, hi Galio, nice of you to join us. And for TF to toss wildcards. So this is working well thus far, and now I get a Duelist Yasuo Chosen. Remember, I was guaranteed to get Chosen offerings at 2.6 and 2.7, and I get a Duelist Yasuo. I'm like, what can I do with this? Where is my Chosen in this game? I can't play Duelist Yasuo at this stage of the game. Again, if I had gotten this early, I could have maybe built a Duelist team comp, but there's no way I can play a Duelist team composition at this stage of the game. This is just silly. So I've gotten the Chosens as late as they possibly can appear at every stage. First one at 2.2, then again at 2.6 and 2.7. They've all been 1-cost Chosens, even though I have odds to have the 2-cost and even the 3-cost Chosens to appear. But yeah, the Chosen's just not working thus far in this game. Now, I do get some good luck on the minion run. It's like everything else is working really well, and there I hit the 2-star Eve. So literally everything is working great except my Chosen luck, which is terrible. Like, is this a good luck game or a bad luck game? I don't know. Is it somewhere in between? It's a little hard to say because I've been doing well at pretty much everything other than the Chosen. Finding the Eve is great. That allows me to make 2-star Eve at a very early date. This is at stage 3-1 is very early to have a 3-cost champion 2-starred. And I have very good items on Eve too. I was able to make a Gunblade right there. That is one of Eve's core items. It's generally considered to be her top item because it means every time she ults, she's going to heal off of it. And it allows her to stick in fights for a much longer time. So like right there, she ults, and she gets a whole bunch of health back again. And then Thresh tosses on his shields, and Gallia's going to jump in and get the knockups, and like Eve is going to be able to finish this fight on full HP. So we very easily win that fight, and Eve is now the clear carry in this team comp. So since Eve is now the clean carry, or the clear carry, clean carry, what does that mean? Since she is definitely my carry, I have to think about putting Zed into the team composition. And in fact, I think I'm going to do that right here. I'm going to level and toss in Zed. And that way I can get that Shade ability in play. Shade means that when either Zed or Eve use their ability, they'll deal bonus magic damage and they'll slip into the shadows for a split second. Very good at dodging aggression, but mostly I'm just picking it up for the bonus magic damage every time Eve ults. There is a comp right there that I just highlighted that is looking to play a ninja comp based on Zed. They have Zed chosen, and they already have found 6 Zeds. That is looking like one of the strongest comps thus far, so that's the one I need to keep an eye on. I haven't been too scared of any of the other team comps, but that one, because they found so many Zeds already, they're almost certain to find Zed 3-star, and Zed 3-star is definitely capable of carrying a team comp, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. All right, so once again, Eve and Zed are in the back lines. They're having not much trouble, just tearing their way through these champs, and I am still at 40 gold on a 7-match win streak. And once again, no Chosens. What the heck is going on here? So again, the odds of Chosens, you're guaranteed to get 3 Chosen offerings, even if you never reroll on each one of the stages. So like this is stage 3. I'm guaranteed to get 3 Chosen offerings at some point on stage 3, even if I don't reroll. So I didn't get one on 3-1, I didn't get one on 3-2, I didn't get one on 3-3, so now I'm guaranteed to have Chosens pop up on 3-5, 3-6, and 3-7. So it's like, what the heck is going on here? Why is my Chosen luck so bad? All right, well, this is the big showdown. This is the other comp I'm most worried about, Pizza Poke with those Zeds. He has 6 Zeds thus far. He's playing his Chosen Zed, and he also has a non-Chosen Zed in there. Already has good Zed items, so that Zed is doing a lot of damage. It's just, can we kill the Zed fast enough? I really would like to keep this win streak going. So Eve is going to get her ult off. She drops down to almost no health, but she's able to get her health back again when she ults. And that allows us to narrowly win this match, which is super duper important so that I keep that long 8-match win streak going. That's going to prop up my economy. Pizza Poke had been on his own win streak, and now that's going to end that. So it's going to be more gold for me and less gold for that player. Really, really important. We have another carousel here. The item I most want is that Negatron Cloak. That would make a Quicksilver Sash, which would be a great last item for the Eve. She already has, I have that Brawler spell on my bench, and Quicksilver will be great. Unfortunately, it's going to get snagged, so I'm not going to be able to use that. So out of the remaining items here, the one that's most useful to me is going to be the Needlessly Large Rod, and that allowed me to make a Jeweled Gauntlet for Spell Crit, which is not bad for Eve, and there's always the possibility to transfer that to someone later on. I have really good Cane items if I could managed to get into Cane later on. So I was guaranteed to get a Chosen here, and I'm looking at this, and I was like, Mage Chosen Vhagar. I was like, well, I actually have 1 out of 3 mages. If I level and put in Vigor, that does put mages in play. I was like, I guess that's worth doing. So this is pretty weird to be running this. You could argue I shouldn't have done this because I was guaranteed to get Chosen offerings on 3-6 and 3-7. Chosen offerings that might fit this comp a little bit better. But I was like, all right. I mean, okay, I'll go ahead and do this. I wanted to level to 7 because I wanted to try to keep my win streak intact. I want to try to maintain that extra income that comes from the win streak. So I'll go ahead and do this. The Vhagar will do a little bit of extra damage. He ensures that the TF will cast twice, get off double wildcards, and Vhagar will contribute his own damage. So, all right, we'll go with this. And unfortunately, I'm stuck at 29 gold. Yeah, see, Veigar actually did the second most damage in that fight. So this is me trying to keep the win streak going, sacrificing some econ to try to keep win streaking here for as long as possible. Was this the right decision? I don't know. I just saw an opportunity for a Chosen that would actually do something for my team, like would literally have some kind of functionality. And the plan is not to hold this champ for any length of time, but just to play this, and then when I hit level 8, I'll sell the Veigar, and I was planning on rolling a bit at 8, get to 8, sell the Veigar, and find another Chosen there, but better to have a Chosen at all than just to have nothing. Even if it's this Veigar Chosen that doesn't really do a whole lot for me, at least it does something. It gets me another 3-cost unit that's 2-starred and makes the Mage trait. Not that Veigar with no items is really going to be that great, but I mean, it doesn't hurt. And so I've ended up with this really weird comp. 3 Mage, 3 Cultist, 2 Shade, 2 Vanguard, 1 Ninja. I would really like to put Keeper in this comp. That's kind of my desired extra trait to put in here, but just have not had a Keeper unit show up literally the entire game. And now this fight's a disaster because Eve gets trapped in a bubble and doesn't get her ult off. Oh no, can the rest of the team carry us to a victory? Well, I don't really have much damage, but aha, the Veigar in the back there. Veigar does still provide damage, which is super important because literally the rest of the team does no damage at all. Garen does no damage, Elise does no damage, Galio does no damage. They're all tanks, but I've got the Veigar, and the Veigar comes through in the clutch and allows me to win that fight. I also sold the Jhin so I could get back up to 40 gold. Here there's a Zed I should definitely pick up. I don't think I spotted that there was this Zed here because I am playing Shade, so I should definitely pick up the Zed. But yeah, the Veigar. I have to feel like I don't win that fight if I don't have the Veigar in. So again, just trying to make use of the Chosens that I've picked up thus far. Boy, I sure would like to find some more cultists too. Like I would happily get rid of the Veigar and ditch the TF so that I could play some other cultists that are a bit stronger. But I actually really haven't found cultists at all either. I haven't found... and here I just get all gold. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I literally just get all gold. So I'm going to push towards the next level. The bad news is I don't get any items. The good news is this pushes me towards level 8 faster, which is what I'm going for. And then I'll just continue to box in my units here. I don't have to do this. I don't have Keeper in play. They don't have to touch each other, but I'm just trying to keep my vulnerable units protected. Still, I'm on a 10-match winning streak. This is great. Other team comps are starting to get low. I've been able to use all the items that I picked up really efficiently, and I think I've played the board really well in this game, considering that it's been kind of a weird game in terms of luck as far as what I've been getting. Now, this is a Warwick comp, and the goal is we just need to kill the Warwick. If Warwick dies, then the rest of the comp falls apart. That's pretty much the whole deal. So I need Eve to get off an ult and kill these units. If she can't do that, then we're going to lose. She does manage to kill one of the units. Does she have enough left over to get the Warwick? Come on, Eve. Need you. Yep. All right. And there is the Gunblade coming through in the clutch. That's why Gunblade is such a key item. Note that Eve goes down to low health repeatedly, but each time she ults, she goes right back up to full. And Eve has been my carry in this game thus far. All right, so I'm going to look to go ahead, and now I finally have a Keeper option to play here. So I'm going to sell Veigar, go up to level 8. I grab the Kennen, and I grab the Jarvan. I forget that I have 2 ninjas in here. This drops the ninja bonus. That said, it's not terrible. Yeah, and you can see I actually take Kennen out. And I roll once just to see if I can put something else in, and I find another cultist. I find the Aatrox right there. So I was like, all right, that's great. We'll just take this. I will end up selling the Kennen because I don't want to play 2 ninjas. So we'll just have Jarvan in, and we grab the Keeper shields, and then we've got Aatrox, who will make the Galio a little bit stronger when he comes in, and it's just another good 4-cost unit. I'm looking to play the Aatrox here. All right, so here I need the Galio to come in. Really nice. Gets the knockup on the Ashe. Also gets the knockup on the Kindred, and that allows Eve to slip in and finish off the Ashe. One of the reasons why that Galio can be really nice, it's not just about having the extra unit for damage. It's about the CC. When he jumps in there and knocks people up, super valuable. So we win again, 12-match winning streak. I've gone to 8 super early, and because I've been so rich, I'm going to look to just go and get to level 9 as quickly as possible. I find a Dust Cassiopeia, and that feels really good, so I'm going to look to grab that. I'll pick up the Shen as well. I'm actually going to take out the Zed because I want to play Shen. I think Shen's better. This will make Ninja in my composition. And I'm also planning on ditching the Garen as well. It's like there's no real need to play Garen here. I'll go ahead, put the Warmogs onto that Cassiopeia to make her super tanky. This means she's basically guaranteed to get off her ult in the fight. And the ult from a Mystic Cassiopeia, or not Mystic Cassiopeia, a Dust Cassiopeia chosen is really strong. Watch her ult go off. It's going to hit like the whole enemy team. I guess she hits like half of the team, but really, really strong. So I'm continuing to transition my team comp. One of the things that I think I did really well in this game, one of the reasons why I'm trying to highlight it, is I'm not being locked in on any one particular unit. I'm willing to change up my comp, switch up the chosen, switch up the units that are in it. I was considering calling this video Garen, Cultist Garen, because Garen was hanging out with these cultists for so long, but ultimately decided not to use that as the video's name. All right, we got another carousel round. I have no components on my bench in terms of items, so I can pretty much pick up whatever here. Now, since I still haven't lost after 13 rounds, I do get last priority, but that's fine. I mean, I have so much health banked, I'm virtually locked into a top 4 at this point, but I'm hoping to do better than that. What I want to do now is try to get up to level 9 and then search for the legendary units at level 9. I go ahead and grab the Shen because this is another Shen, and I figure I can make something out of the Giant's Belt. Maybe it will be, could be a Zerat portal if I find a bow. I don't really have uses for bows in this team comp, so that'll give me another option there. It could be, I don't know, it could be a Zephyr, which is always good in the late games, and now is like the time I would make a Zephyr. I also go ahead and find a, I go ahead and find my first legendary unit. I find Set, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to play this. I don't need 4 cultists. I can get by with 3. I'll hold on to the extra TF for right now, just in case I want to go back up to 6 cultists, but I'm not really anticipating that, and I will position the Set so he gets to take advantage of that locket as well. So again, we kind of played Shade for a little while, dropped Shade. We are now, oh wow, Cass is in a tremendous position. Look at that ult. She hits the whole team, including getting the Teemo in the backlines. Then Jarvan gets the knockup. Then Galio gets the knockup. So really good CC against this enemy team comp that we've got here. That Teemo is legitimately scary with those items, but we're just barely able to get on the backlines and kill these team composition before Teemo can take us out. Very close fight, though. So, again, the crowd control coming through super clutch there. Eve does like 10,000 damage, or just short of 10,000 damage, and she has been my carry in this comp. It's one of the things you always need is you need to have some kind of carry unit you're playing through. Like you need kind of 3 things always. You need units that can frontline so your team doesn't just melt instantly. You need some form of crowd control. Always useful to have some crowd control for the enemy team. And you need a consistent source of damage, and Eve has been that in this game. I would actually love to 3-star her, but I have not been seeing other Eves. I certainly would have picked up more Eves if I'd seen them, because that also would give me the possibility of transferring the items off Eve to someone else and then replacing Eve. But I haven't seen any other Eves, so it doesn't look like we're going to get an Eve 3-star in this game. Now we're back to the Zed team composition, and this person has not 3-starred their Zed yet, but they have made a 3-star Pike, and that's pretty strong. Now Cass gets off another beautiful ult to just stuns the entire enemy team, and Set's going to come back from the fight, get off a great ult. So do we have enough to kill the Zed? It just needs someone to hit the Zed. Unfortunately, right now, no one is on the Zed. And Eve does not hit the Zed with that ult, and oh, can't quite get off another ultimate. A little bit unfortunate that Zed was the one and only unit we never focused in that fight, because Zed was the entire enemy team in terms of damage. So the win streak comes to an end after 14 rounds. Almost got it continued through that minion round, which would have been nice to get that extra 5 gold income. So we do take our first loss, but this is, I mean, I'm still in fantastic shape, 95 health through 4 stages, and I'm already in great shape as far as econing to 9. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to econ up to 9. I do anticipate losing some of these upcoming rounds because other players will be about to exit the game. They're going to be rolling, which they should do. So they'll be hitting units and getting stronger, whereas I will just be, I will not be getting any stronger. Although I am still hitting units here. Like I hit the 2-star Aatrox, which is great. So we've got a bow. I mentioned we didn't really have a use for bow in this team composition, so I'll put that on Shen. And then I've got a locket for my other 2 components. I'm just trying to think, where can I put the locket? It's going to have to be on a 2-star unit. So I'll go ahead and toss it on Jarvan. Why Jarvan? Because he's coming out of this comp sooner or later. So I'm going to toss this down here and then try to position some units so that they can get the locket shield. So we don't get perfect value out of this locket, but we at least get some of it. We actually have quite a bit of shielding between the locket and the keeper. Always a little bit awkward when you have a locket and keeper in at the same time, because it's hard to position everybody to get maximum value out of the shields. But it was make the locket or don't make anything. I would not usually choose to make a locket this late in the game because it is more of an early game item than a late game item. But like I said, there's really no choice. Make it or don't make anything. This comp is all about the Kindred. If we can kill the Kindred, we're going to win. And Eve is going to do that. Actually does quite a bit of excess damage. Then Set comes back in. We've got an enemy Set to deal with, but that Set has not rolled items that are good for AP. Oh, come on, Eve. Woo! The Set had rolled a Deathblade, so his ults didn't do a lot of damage, but his auto attacks did a tremendous amount of damage. And so able to win that round, and every round that's a victory right now is quite nice because it gets me closer to level 9 without losing health. There is something scary though. Pizza Poke, the other comp we've been tracking, just finally hit the Z 3-star. The good news is that person didn't hit Z 3-star earlier. The bad news is, yeah, they did hit Z 3-star. So now I have a 3-star Pike and a 3-star Z in a ninja comp that they're playing. I believe they've also made 4 ninjas in that comp as well. So that is the scary comp that we have to be aware of. There is this other comp, Gold 11111, that's on a winning streak as well. I can't recall off the top of my head what that person's playing, but that is the other one we have to worry about. Over here, we get a tremendous Aatrox ult that looks like it's going to win us this fight just by dragging that Jhin into the middle of the enemy team, where all sorts of nasty things can happen to that Jhin. So Jhin is not where Jhin wants to be. It gets ulted by Aatrox, and then the Eve, it should be able to get an ult off. But that Jhin is still alive. Can we finish off the Jhin? Yes. Okay. As soon as the Jhin dies, we've got this. Riven is going to get popped as well. And yeah, Eve did 12,000 damage in that fight. Not too shabby. So if it hadn't been for that one loss, I think I would be on a 17-match winning streak right now, but I've only lost 5 health. This is as good as you can possibly ask for this early in the game. Now I'm trying to look at what comps I might be coming up against because we are hitting the late game here. There's not that much more time. That one person has made a team of 3-stars, so that's going to be concerning as well. Some of these comps are definitely getting stronger. And I really haven't found much as far as the legendary comps go thus far. I still have only found the one Set, but I'm about to go to level 9, and I'll have enough money to roll at 9, so I should definitely be able to find them now that I've been so strong economically in this game. This is kind of an outlier result in terms of having money. I'm up against Pizza Poke again, and now that Pizza Poke has made the 3-star Z, I just kind of get torn apart, which is not surprising. In order to beat this, I have to get legendary units, which I do not have yet. It's the only way to overcome a 3-star Z with that Z has very good items. The only thing it's missing is a Quicksilver. It should probably have a Quicksilver on there somewhere, so it can't get CC'd. But it's a very, very strong Zed, so I can't beat that comp unless I can move into a higher tier of units. What I have right now is not going to cut it, so that's what I need to do now. Get to 9 and start putting in 5-cost legendary units. There was a unit that I wanted, or an item I wanted there. I wanted the aspect of Dusk. That would allow me to get up to 4 Dusk, which would have been awesome, but it's not a possibility. So out of what's here, I think the thing I can use the best is the Death Cap. I can always put that on Set, and that'll power up his dunks. I don't really have a good user for the AD-focused items. Like, that would be the alternative. Go for, like, Giant Slayer, Infinity Edge, but, like, I'm not really playing any champs that do that. So, all right, it's level 9. Now, I could sell the Cassiopeia, but I kind of like having that Cass. I know, I probably should sell the Cassiopeia, but I decided I would hold on to it because I like having the Dusk Cassiopeia. Anyway, so now we're looking to put in more legendary units, so we want to get Yone in. I am going to play Yone over 1-star Lee Sin. If I 2-star the Lee Sin, I'll play that. Now I have Dusk, so I definitely want to play that. I'm trying to think, what can I take out? And I decided I'll drop Keeper. I don't think Keeper is that valuable in this team comp. And that also means I can probably look to take out the Elise, because she was really only in there for Cultist and Keeper. Once we move out of Keeper, we don't really need that. All right, so this team composition is based on having a 3-star Aurelia, kind of a weird unit to have 3-starred. Well, we've got some nice CC there, and Eve is able to get off the key ult that kills the Aurelia, and so at that point, we are going to be able to win this one, even though Eve is not actually attacking. Come on, Eve, get off your ult. Come on. Sooner or later, she's going to ult, and that'll end the fight. Okay, or Set will take care of it as well. Note that 1-star Set did 7,300 damage in that fight. So yeah, the legendary units are strong. All right, now I get Zillion, which is super key. That gives me another Cultist, so now I can drop one of my Cultists. And the obvious one to drop is the Elise, because I'm not playing Keeper anymore. So we'll go ahead and do this. Now I can also spread out. I don't need to position everybody next to each other. I also have the option to go into Riven, which is what I was going to play, but now that I've dropped Keeper, I don't really need to do that anymore. So let's spread out a little bit, put some of our tanky units on the front line. We also want to position so we can get max value out of this locket. I think I don't quite manage to do that in this fight, Remember, set does have that locket, and we want all 5 units to get advantage of that. But we've got now we still have we still have 4 Dusk in, and we've picked up Lilia as well, and we've picked up Zillion, so we're going to have the option for revives. Going to be really nice. This person's playing an Ezreal comp. By the way, that person has Mage Ezreal at 2 stars, so that's pretty good. But Ezreal isn't really someone you want to itemize for damage. He doesn't really do a lot of damage. He's a support unit. That said, there's a lot of healing. Oh, Cass gets off a great ult. Is that going to be enough to win this fight? I just need Eve to ult maybe one more time. Oh, but she doesn't get her ult off. She dies like 1 second before ulting. So that's a little bit sad. But once again, I'm just continuing to move into more legendary units. I will slowly drop some of my trait synergies as I try to move into legendaries. I also get a great item here off of the minion round here. I get a blue buff, which is just fantastic on Yone. It also would be fantastic on Kayn, but I haven't found Kayn yet. It's a little disappointing. I wish I had found Kayn because I would love to move Eve's items over to Kayn. Like, if I have blue buff and Gunblade and Jeweled Gauntlet on a 2-star Kayn, I mean, that's just a straight up win condition right there, but I haven't found any other Eves, so I can't really move these items off Eve, and she's been such a fantastic carry. I am a little bit hesitant to move off the items. Like, I don't want to make myself weaker. So there is Eve, and there is an Eve, and I missed the Eve. So I should have bought the Eve. I should have then sold my Eve and transferred those items over to Kayn and played Kayn here. But instead, I'm going to 2-star the Yone, and I was like, all right, well, I'll put the blue buff on Yone, and then I've got a 2-star Lee Sin. I feel like I have to play the 2-star Lee. I want to get that into the comp. So I go ahead and I go ahead and sell set and move the items over. I think that was a mistake as well in retrospect. And I'm going to move the death cap to Yone, which I don't think is a mistake. I think Yone having the death cap is perfectly fine. But I should have probably just taken out some of the other units in this comp. One of the things I realized in retrospect after playing this game, not really thinking about it at the time, was the Dusk 4 wasn't really doing that much for me. So it's like Dusk 2 is great. It splashes the 20% extra spell power on everyone in your comp. But does Dusk 4 really do that much in this comp? I mean, it only gives extra spell power to Dusk units. So that right now is the Cassiopeia, which is nice. Her ults are stronger. And that's also the Lilia. Okay, that's nice too. I mean, Lilia, definitely not a bad unit by any means. Makes the sleepy time stronger. And then the other one is the Thresh. It's like none of that is bad per se, but like I could probably drop the Thresh. The Thresh isn't really doing that much. All right, so here we get a lot of options for legendary units. So we're going to pick up the Lilia, and we definitely want to pick up the Kayn as well. So I'm going to grab the Kayn. I really shouldn't sell the set. I should probably just hold on to the set because I could have had set 2-star by now. And I probably should have just held there and looked to pick up the Azirs as well. So yeah, I probably should have moved out of 4 Dusk. I think that would have been the way to make this comp stronger. And I really should have I should have bought that one Eve that we had earlier, sold the Eve, and moved the items over to Kayn. I think that would have been more ideal. But let's not look too far away from this comp. I do have a very strong comp, and it's continuing to get stronger. The Yone is really, really strong. The Cassiopeia does provide fantastic crowd control, and her ults do a lot of damage as well. So this fight's all about, can we CC the Zed? Zed does not have a Quicksilver Sash. Zed does insane damage, but if we can CC him, we can win this fight, and that's what happened there. Zed got hit by Cass ult, Zed got sleepy timed. So, like I said, that's how we win this fight. And by the way, it wasn't even a 2-star Thresh, it was a 1-star Thresh. Like, some of these legendary units have to be stronger than a 1-star Thresh. Thresh's traits are not that valuable in this team composition. So once again there, I pass up Azir. I could have been holding these Azirs as well. And we're getting ready to move into the final stage of this game. Unfortunately, Pizza Poke, who's the comp I'm most concerned about, does hit the 2-star Zillion. That is going to make that comp a lot stronger because now Zed has a much stronger revive option. So we may have to deal with that Zed not once but twice. Here I have a chance to knock out the person who's been playing 3-star Teemo. Note that Eve has jumped right into the back lines. Cassiopeia gets off a nice ultimate. We need to get onto that Teemo. The Teemo gets off a big ult on Eve, but that just allows Eve to ult earlier and then get her health back with a Gunblade. And yeah, we win this round very, very easily. Comp is clearly just stronger than this one. And so that is going to be enough to knock this down into a 2-player showdown. So now it's us up against this Zed comp. All right, what do we have here? Well, there's a Kayn with Duelist spat. I was like, okay, this will make 2-star Kayn, and this will also put Duelist in play because I have the Lee Sin in. So I've got to play this. Definitely need to play this, even though Duelist is not really a trait you want on Kayn. This has to be better than what I've got. So now I need to think about what I take out. And ultimately, what did I do? Oh, I take out the Lee? That can't be the right decision. It's got to be some way to, got to be a better to play Lee than that. So at this point, I was still thinking, well, I have to keep Dusk in. What can I take out that's not Dusk? And there's the 2-star Zillion. And ultimately, I believe I take out the Aatrox here in this comp, which again is probably not the worst decision. It loses me Cultist and it loses me Vanguard. I still think losing Thresh is probably the right decision. So yeah, there we go. I'm going to take out the Aatrox, and then I go ahead and move up there on the front line to put the Locket Shield there, where arguably it does more good. But now it's just me and Pizza Poke. So here's the question. Am I stronger than this Zed-based comp? Well, the big question is, can we CC the Zed? This team composition has gotten a lot stronger. It has, like I said, it moved into the Zillion 2-star, and it's also gotten a 3-star Akali. So that gives this comp another damage option. It's not just the Zed now. Now it's also the Akali. And with the 4 ninjas in play, that is a very strong comp. So I was like, okay, we lost pretty badly that time. And this comp just seems to be very strong that we're up against. How can I make this work? How can I work around beating this particular team comp? So Set has come back, and now I'm looking to see if I can get the Set into my comp somehow. So I started thinking here, I was like, you know, this enemy comp, this comp is entirely... you know, it's all ninja and shade units that are diving into the backline. So I was like, I think I do better by moving my tanks down here into the back lines. This is something I highlighted in one video a long time ago, where if you're up against if it's like a pure 1v1 situation at the end of the game, and the comp that you're up against is all assassins, you take your frontline tanks and you put them in the back row, and then you put your squishies and put them in the front row, because that actually protects your units. So yeah, we're still up against this. Now I need the Yone to carry me here. Can Yone do this alone? Doesn't look like it. So again, we come up short, but that round was a little bit closer. It didn't just get destroyed as badly. And if I'm able to 2-star some of these legendary units, I think I've got a shot. I still have... Kayn has not transformed yet. Kayn getting his transform is going to be really big. And Lilia's only 1-star. 2-starring Lilia would be really big as well, because that just gives me more sleepy time availability. So again, I am reversing my formation here. I'm putting my backline champs up on the front line and my frontline champs in the back. Although I haven't quite gotten the formation the way I want it right now. I definitely need to focus on getting a good position. I want Zed to dive into a part of my team that's not very strong. In particular, I'd love it if Lee Sin could kick out that Zed. I also get a Sword of the Divine, which allows me to make another unit of Divine, which is really interesting. So let's go ahead and get Kayn to transform. Definitely want red form Kayn. I'm going to go ahead and make Kayn the Divine unit. I don't know if it's better to do that on Kayn or Yone. I think in either case, it's pretty good. And now I'm going to hit 2-star Set. I was like, all right, well, I have to play 2-star Set. What can I take out of this team composition? And I was like, I guess it's Shen. Again, Thresh is probably the correct answer here, but I think it's better to have the 2-star Set than it is to have the Shen. We still have Mystic in the comp, because we are getting Mystic from Zillion and Cassiopeia. And I think the 2-star Set is just better than the 2-star Shen. So I'll just transfer that item over. The Zerat portal is really important as well, because it can pull aggression. But once again, we want to keep an eye on the Zed and an eye on the Akali. Yone pops the Zed, and then Yone pops the Akali. I was like, all right, well, I guess I win this fight. First, Yone slashed their resistances, and then Yone just kills both of them. I was like, all right, well, once they're down, we're going to win the fight. And we've still got Kayn up as well. So as soon as this revive animation finishes, we are going to win this sooner or later. Come on, there we go. So that's one of the things that makes my comp really strong right now. I have many different damage threats. I'm not playing through one unit anymore. Now I've got the Kayn, and I've got the Yone. And I've also got the Evelyn still in this comp, and I just managed to 2-star the Lilia, so she's going to power that up as well. So I really just want to make sure the Shade unit doesn't matter where I position it, because the Shade unit's going to be in the back, is going to dive into the enemy team's backline. Getting full Locket value here. I'm going to move Zillion into a safer spot, move Kayn down, because Kayn doesn't really matter where he stands. That does mean I don't get full benefit from the Locket, but this is fine. And note that the Zed is set to jump right on the Set and get taunted, which is just what I want. I want him hitting the Set, because that way Set will get a dunk off and Set will come back to life. Cass gets off a great ultimate. Look at the stun. Look how long that stun is on the Zed. So yeah, Cassiopeia was happy sticking with her, even though she is not a 5-quest chosen. Now, Yone is going to jump in here. Kayn is doing his spinning slash thing. Set's going to come back after his dunk, and we've managed to do this. We managed to overcome the 3-star ninja comp, which was itself very, very strong, but playing all those legendary units ultimately makes the difference. That's enough to be a first-place victory here, which is part of the reason why I showed you guys this game. As I said, it makes more sense to show matches that work as opposed to matches that don't work. and then I get promoted to Gold 1. So overall, I think this was a good game. I think it was a useful way of showing the ability to play what you're given, even if that means some really weird comps like the Vagar Chosen and whatnot. But hope you enjoyed this. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, have a good one and take care.